everybody, welcome back to the underground lair here at Stringman Guitars. We got ourselves a 2019 Gibson J45 with the LR Bags pickup system. I'll find the model number, but it's the one that comes stock on the standard J45. So let's take a look. Okay, man, she's a beauty. She's a little dirty, but yes. The problem he's experiencing, go ahead and plug this in, and these are still the old strings, and that's with my amp cranked up pretty good, and that's with the preamp cranked up all the way. So the G, B, and E are louder than the E, A, and D. And the G is also quieter than the unwound strings. So I called LR Bags, and they told me that they have it's a known problem with these guitars. And they said that one thing is it could be the saddle, which is a tusk saddle, might not be exactly flat, or it may be a little too wide for the slot and it's not allowing vibration down to the piezo, pi pickup. So we're going to see, I wanted to check something here. What's a good thing to check it with? This is handy. So that tells me that he's probably not getting good contact on this side of the bridge. As soon as we get there, right there, it gets louder. Okay, I believe we've come across our first issue. See, it came out real easy over here, but it's tight on this side. The braid that it sits on is all the way across, and just take a peek. And then we're going to have to take care of the width. And if I hold it up, I got this bar here. This is my leveling bar from StewMac. So it is level, and the bridge is not. The saddle is not. There's your problem. As you saw earlier, we leveled out the bottom of the bridge, which was severely bowed, and went to put the strings on, made sure there was no, always blowout underneath the piezo, whatever the heck however you pronounce it, and underneath the little piece of bound or braided wire that makes the piezo system work, was this piece of binding. Check that out. And I measured it. It's 0.056 inches. That is thicker than the fat E string. And that's part of your problem. It was resting right down on the B string. So I took that out, and I got a piece of walnut veneer, which isn't quite as thick. It's about 0.33, and put that in all the way across underneath here, like a shim, like you'd get from a lot of companies will put shims under the bridge. so you can take it out and adjust as you like. So anyhow, in doing so, the bridge was much lower, and that's why they put that in there, to get the high E side off. But I have enough there that I have some brake angle over the high E, which I didn't whenever I put the bridge back in without this chiclet in there. So let's just go ahead and plug it in. Okay, we're plugged into the noisemaker and it's cranked way up, so it's feeding back. Problem solved. I am so happy. Now, okay, let's see where that put us with our relief. Let's try it with the 12 again. Oh, we need the capo on the first. It's a little tight for a 12. Let's see what 10 looks like. And loose for, it's probably around 11. But, of course, we'll let the string height adjust, or the truss rod adjust. We're down to a little over 4 64ths, and we're at 3 64ths, which is like Les Paul territory. But let's see if there's any buzzing. Notice we polished the frets and oiled the fingerboard. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Underground Lair. You remember the story of the tusk nut that was stacked upon a... I saved it here, where'd it go? Oh, there it is. It was stacked upon a piece of purfling or binding, and I'm going to even say who it was. It was Guitar Center, because I asked Buddy if he's had this thing set up, and he said, yeah, I had it at the Guitar Center one time for a setup. So they shaved the nut, or the bridge, down too far, and to compensate, they stuck this underneath the B string, which rendered all the wound strings unusable through the piezo, whatever it is, because they weren't in contact with the bridge at all, other than this very end of the bass side. So we tried, first of all, we tried a shim, walnut shim. Actually, I already threw it out, but there's 2 walnut shims, and then we got a little piece of shim to go under the treble side and really like sanded it down so it blended in. And it still didn't bring me up to the point where we were in Les Paul territory. We were at 5 64ths and 3 64ths. So that wasn't going to work for me. I can't be happy with that. So in the Gibson spec sheet online, they say that they use a tusk nut. So I went and got a tusk nut, and these are the PQ9400-CO Tusk Gibson saddle. I did have to sand it thinner, and I had to take a little bit off of the 2 edges, just a hair, just a hair to make it fit. But it's in there now, and we're sitting at 10 64ths, or 10 thousandths, I'm sorry, 10 thousandths of relief. And our string height is a very happy 5/64. Let's go down here. 5/64, 12th fret, and a hair over 4/64. And there is no buzzy wuzzy, and I've got a good break angle here, and we have no shim under this, so it's just sitting on top of the piezo, that's what I'm going to call it from now on, of the LR Bags system. So we're finally going to call this done. The only thing I have yet to do is to play it. So let me tune it up for 1 second, because it's been a little bit since I put tension back on it after pulling the old nut out and putting the new nut in, and then having to sand it down and take it in and out until I get to the right spot. Let me tune it up and we'll play it. Okay, so your Gibson J45. That's a sweet sounding guitar. I don't care what anyone says. Take your Martins, take your Taylors. This is just a good sounding guitar. All there is to it now is to put the truss rod cover back on. There it is. So please, if you like what you see here, please like and subscribe. If you need your axe sharpened and you live in the greater Pittsburgh area, I'm on the Facebooks, on the interwebs. All you got to do is send me an instant message and we'll get back to you. I want to thank you to all my subscribers, all those who give a little bit on Patreon to keep this moving. If you feel like doing that, Stringman Guitars on Patreon. Just going to wipe it down a little bit. Gibson J45, a beautiful guitar. We're going to get rid of those danglies too. And remember, your tusk nut is PQ 9400-CO.